What causes weather? Weather is caused by the unequal heating of the surface of the planet, and this occurs in two ways: solar energy and latitude. Since the Earth's surface is a sphere, the equator receives direct sunlight, while the light that reaches the poles is more spread out. Here you can see it's more direct, and at the poles, the area the sun hits for each ray is much larger. So the higher you get in latitude, the lower the temperature will be because the energy is spread out. Unequal heating. Weather is caused by the unequal heating of the land and water. At the beach, you have noticed that the sand can be very hot on your bare feet, but the water is still quite cool. Sand and water receive the same amount of energy from the sun, so why don't they both heat up equally? It's because of specific heat. Specific heat is the amount of energy it takes to heat 1 kilogram of a material by 1 degree Celsius. So we're talking about water and land. Sand has a lower specific heat, so it heats and cools rapidly. Water has a very high specific heat, so it heats slowly and it also cools slowly. So the oceans will take a long time to heat up and an equally long time to cool off. They store their heat better. Land will heat up quickly and cool down just as fast. You really notice this at the beach. The sand cools rapidly after the sun goes down, but the water stays about the same temperature. Temperature and winds. This difference in temperature will cause warm air to rise, creating a low pressure area, and cool air to sink, creating a high pressure area. This difference in pressure causes wind to blow. Wind always blows from an area of high pressure toward an area of low pressure. Temperature and rain. This temperature difference will also affect how much moisture the air can hold, as warm air holds more water vapor than cold air can. So when the air gets colder, it can't hold as much water, and so it precipitates. And we notice this in Georgia, especially in the summer times. When it's a really hot day, we usually get an afternoon thunderstorm. And this is because as the temperature starts to fall, the air can't hold as much water, and precipitation happens. There's a circulation of warm and cold air happening all the time. As cold air sinks, it warms. When cold air warms, it gains the ability to hold water vapor. So warm air can hold more water vapor. And then as the air rises, it cools. When warm air cools, it loses the ability to hold water vapor, and this results in precipitation. This is caused by the air constantly moving from an area of high pressure to an area of low pressure. So in conclusion, weather is caused by this uneven heating of the Earth's surface. Soil absorbs energy differently than water because of specific heat. Thermal energy is concentrated at the equator and it's spread out at the poles. Make sure you review radiation, conduction, and convection, along with types of greenhouse gases and the greenhouse effect.